Hi, welcome back. In the previous session, we discussed about the slicer, how many way are there to use a slicer we discussed before. In this session, we are going to discuss about the concept of the table and matrix together. But before starting and covering the topics, I like to remind you all the related videos are available on my YouTube. You need to just come to the YouTube, search me by the Fahad Hussain CS, come to my channel. There are a lot of the videos are there, 1200 plus. You can watch with ease, and all the content related material which are used inside this video are freely available on my blog fahadhussainsblogspot.com. So you can freely download the content from there and you can use with ease. So what are you waiting for? Do subscribe the channel to get familiar about that, what is going on in the field of the artificial intelligence and computing. So as usual, I'm using the same data set, sheet 1, which means that's a dummy data set of the countries and regions, and as well as the university data. Okay, remember that this is the basic fundamental concept and understanding of the graphical visualization. And when we completely understand this one, so we will use a professional data to understand the dashboard in depth as well. So I'm just adding the table first. Okay, this is the table UI. I'll just add this one and a little bit enlarge it, and then the matrix as well. Here it is a matrix on the right hand side, and the left hand side is a table. Okay, in the table, just open the sheet 1, city, country, profit, region, and sales. Remember that the running values is majors. I have just added to make you understand the topic. Okay, I didn't use this one. So here you can see that when I just added a 5 number of the columns from the sheet 1, so in the table, the data are showing as like a same data. Okay, same number of the rows and column, but additional things are in the total, which is the numeric value addition of all this. Okay, but if I do the same thing in the matrix, look at here, I'm just adding the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But you can observe that here the data are not showing in a field of the 2D, two-dimensional data as like a table. It's used for the n-dimensional data. And here you can see that the city column here, the city column is there. But when I just open it, it will show me the nested body, which means that it's belong to the Asia region. It's belong to the Asia region. And if you scroll down, okay, I'm just zoom out. If you scroll down, you can see that it's a values here, some of the profit. Okay, similarly some of the sales are there, which means that the matrix is normally used for the different dimensions, more than 2 dimension of the data. Okay, there are a lot of the other differences are also there, but there is a website, powerbidocs.com, in which I just opened this article, matrix versus table visualization, and that shows a very important stuff here. In table, we represent data in a 2-dimensional data grid format, whereas in the matrix, it's supposed to support multi-dimensional data grid format. By default, display all data means flat data structure. Okay, all the data will be shown in a flat format, whereas matrix automatically aggregate the data according to the data behavior, which means it will aggregate, it will sum up the values with respect to the behavior of the data. Row not fixed, but column are fixed in the table, whereas rows and column both are not fixed. When the data new dimension, you can add them as values, it will appear at a new column in a grid, which means that after the using the few number of the column, you may add one more column, so it will add one more column in the original table. Whereas in a matrix, here you can you have an option to add values, rows and column as well, which means which type of the data you are want to add in a rows and a column. Okay, that's the very basic understanding of the difference between them. I just like but if you click on it up, so there are different numbers of the column, you may add more. But if you go in the format, okay, in the format, look at here, this one. So I'm just open it, enlarge it from there. Okay, in the matrix, in the table. So there is a title, you can add the title. There is a grid system, you can change the color of the grid. Okay, in the table, the width you can increase, the vertical grid is also there, you can change the color. Okay, I'm just changing the vertical grid as well. Border, the options are there, top, ref, light, whatever the border you want, you can add it. Look at this. Okay, similarly the values, header are there, all the things we have already discussed, by the way, in option. Image size are also there, spark lines are also there, accessibility are there. So you can use a different number of the options are there in the form of the raw name and others. Similarly, in the properties are there, the same properties are there, tooltips, data format, which type of the data column you are using, which type of the data it's. For example, if I use sum of the profit, so whole number, decimal, currency, percentage, and so on. That is a very basic understanding of the table. Whereas when you click on the matrix, okay, when you click on the matrix, almost size and style are there. majority of the option are the same, but here you can see that blank row. Okay, which color you want to show in a blank, which for example I want to show in a black one. Okay, that is not a good, by the way. Look at this. Okay, transparency level, border, you can add a border on it. Okay, subtotal are there. Look at the other, in the subtotal is also there at the bottom. With respect to the column, all columns are now in a form of the multiple grid line. Okay, a specific column are there if you want to show us some specific column. For example, sum of the profit, I want to show a header on it. Okay, I want to apply the total on it, sum of the profit. So where the sum of the profit are there, it will show you can see that the header area. Okay, as like this. Values are there, you can change the color of the values. Look at this, a background color, you can add it like this one. Okay, so it's all about the requirement, which type of the requirement of the matrix you have, you can change it. Layout and style presets are also there. Okay, minimal. Okay, there are different styles are there of the matrix. Look at this, because I just start adding some features already there. That's why the whole process is not continuously changing. So you need to disable the rest of the option which I just added before. Similarly, tabular form, you can convert it, you can compact form, you can outline form. Okay, different options are there, you can add it. And similarly for the properties. So that is a basic understanding of the difference between a table and the matrix. With respect to the core point, table is used for the 2D, whereas a more than two-dimensional data is there, so you can use a matrix including the properties which we have understand before. Right, hope you all understand. In the next session, we discuss some other formats, especially the scripting of the Python and R. Then we will discuss about some AI tool, the key influencer, similarly decomposition, question answers, and this all of the things which are very important in the form of the dashboard creation. Okay, so if you like this video, what are you waiting for? Do subscribe the channel, like the video, do share, and give me the motivation to do such kind of the activity for you. Okay, see you in the next session to discuss about more thing in Power BI.